Hello teachers, my name is Tania Jimenez from TaniaTeacherTraining.com, and today we're going to be talking about books. That's my favorite topic because, as you may see, behind me I have a huge collection of books, and I will recommend only the best books for you because you need to start building your own teacher's library. So what do you say we start? Well, I'll begin by quoting J.K. Rowling. I do believe something very magical can happen when you read a book, because books are essential for us teachers. Books can be used as reference resources for us. And throughout this video, I will be talking about different kinds of books. The first kind is books to check the form and use of grammatical structures and books for your own language awareness. Okay? The first one is for learners. The first one you see here is for learners. It's called Essential Grammar in Use by Raymond Murphy. This is a book for students, like I said. And this is a book that you can use if you need extra practice with certain grammar points. The explanation is pretty straightforward for students, okay? So this is for them. But the books for you are these three, okay? First, we have Practical English Usage by Michael Swan. This book is not going to contain any exercises because what it's got is the explanation in detail about the grammatical points, and sometimes we don't know some rules, teachers. We need to admit that we don't know everything there is to know about grammar. So this is an excellent book. If you're teaching advanced grammar, you can use it. Okay. The second book is called About Language. It's by Scott Thornberry. In this book, you're going to find the explanation about the grammar point, and you're also going to find some exercises, some tasks that you can do with your learners. Okay? And here at Teachers Grammar, I like the explanations because they even give you easy examples and different tasks that you can use also with students. Okay? So if I had to buy one of these books first, I would buy probably this one and then this one. Okay, now dictionaries. Dictionaries are important, and nowadays we have the online dictionaries, but we need to know the differences among all the kinds of dictionaries. Okay, first we have monolingual dictionaries, we have bilingual dictionaries, and you have different features in these two kinds of dictionaries. In a monolingual dictionary, you can find the pronunciation, the origin of the word, the explanation of the definition. You're going to find a pronunciation, like very detailed things. In bilingual dictionaries, you will probably find the definition, okay? Or sometimes just the word, I mean the meaning in the L2, okay? So if you have advanced students, you might want to use an advanced learner's dictionary, a monolingual dictionary, okay? We also have picture dictionaries. These are used for beginners or intermediate students, okay? And obviously, you are not going to use this for abstract concepts, but you can topicalize the concepts that they are learning. So it's easier for them to learn certain words, because in these dictionaries, you will find the topic of the kitchen or house repairs or the car, the parts of the car, etc. Okay? Now, we have also what we call the Thesaurus, okay? If you don't know the meaning of the Thesaurus, here you go. So, a Thesaurus doesn't give you the definition. but it gives you synonyms or antonyms about the word that you're looking up. All right? Now, if you want to teach some chunks of language, some special lexical items, I would recommend using these two books, and there are more by the same author. Her name is Jennifer Seidel. Okay, we have here English idioms and exercises on phrasal verbs. You also have English phrasal verbs. Okay, so the difference here is that you're going to find in this kind of book the definition, but in this one you're going to find the definition and some cool exercises for your students. So you might want to have this one first and then buy this one second. And teachers, let's talk about our students and the difficulties, the problems they have when they are learning the language. We need to understand, number one, the mistakes they make, and number two, why they make these mistakes. Is it L1 interference? Is it a developmental mistake? What is it? Okay, so we have specialized books for that. One of them is Common Errors in English by Martin Boyne and Don Leppen. This is an excellent book that I recommend. And what about using a new approach, new methodology for teaching your learners or finding new ways to teach different tasks and activities? Well, we have different books for that. And these four books, I have used a lot. I'm going to tell you. The first one is called Teaching by Principles by Douglas Brown. Douglas talks about lesson planning, classroom management, how to correct your students, how to spot mistakes, things like that. Now let's see. The Practice of English Language Teaching by Jeremy Harmer is an excellent book that I would call essential too. Why? Because what Jeremy does is put together the work of different researchers, different authors about methodology, about different approaches, how to teach skills, how to teach systems, how to teach vocabulary, the decisions that you need to make, also how to plan your lesson, things like that, okay? And learning teaching with similar topics. This book is by Jim Scrivener. It is wonderful too, okay? And this other book that I have highlighted a lot is called Approaches and Methods in Language Teaching by Jack C. Richards. Well, this book tells you about the history of English language teaching, all the different methodologies that go from grammar translation, the direct method, guided discovery, the PPP approach, all the methods, all the approaches, all the strategies are there. You need to have this book, teachers. We have more books. Okay, we have more books for teaching or learning principles when teaching. Okay, this is for TBL. If you want to learn how to use TBL, you need to read this book, Task-Based Learning, because in that book you get to know all the principles, and then you have different lesson plans for advanced, for beginners, for intermediate students. So you can see the differences between one lesson plan and another one, the different kinds of tasks that Jane Willis uses, okay? Now, we also have Teaching the Spoken Language. This book helps you reflect about the things that we don't think about. For example, what a short term and a long term is, okay? The difference between the two and how to approach one and how to approach the other one. all the different things that the students need to practice. And it's not only about fluency or accuracy, there are more things involved. Okay, now this course analysis for language teachers, if you want to start analyzing text and help your students with that analysis, so your students are able to see not only a text but to understand different genres and what it is implied in every genre. Okay, now teaching English pronunciation is perfect for you to work on suprasegmental features about phonology. Now we have this book called Implementing the Lexical Approach. If you have heard, if you are interested in working with the lexical approach, remember that it is about working not with isolated words but with chunks of language. This book is ideal. It's by Michael Lewis. He was the one who designed this approach. Okay, so you have all the terms, you have all the tasks that you can possibly use in order to implement the lexical approach in your classroom. Okay, this other one, How to Teach Vocabulary, even has some parts where the lexical approach is introduced. Okay, but here in How to Teach Vocabulary, they talk about different ways for different kinds of learners, different ways of teaching vocabulary, different approaches. So, and this book is by Scott Thornbury. Excellent, excellent researcher and writer. Okay, now this is a book about vocabulary exercises. You can copy all the exercises. They are ready for you to photocopy them and give them to your students. It's got wonderful ideas. It's got warm-ups, some collocations, crossword puzzles, dominoes, a lot of things about vocabulary. And this other book is more about teaching in a fun way. This is directed to young learners, okay? Students from 6 to 12, 13 years old. And this book gives you excellent ideas, okay? Now, these other books, this one here, well, of course, it's like a must-have. Why? Because it gives you all the basic concepts about teaching, and it prepares you for the international certification, now that it's called Qualification at Teaching Award, that it's called TKT, the Teaching Knowledge Test. Okay, so if you're getting ready to take that exam or those 3 modules, please get it. Okay, and we have this other book that it's for the CLIL module. Remember, it's Content and Language Integrated Learning. Okay, if you're teaching a subject in English, for example, biology, chemistry, history, etc., you need to have this book, because this book is going to show you the steps that you need to follow when you teach a subject using the principles of ESL or EFL teaching. Okay, so you need to have it. Now, this one, Second Language Writing, this book gives you ideas to work either with the genre approach, that is the product approach, or with the process approach when you're teaching writing. Okay, it tells you about the principles, but also the tasks that your students can do. Okay, and it gives you the foundation of those tasks. And this is by Jack C. Richards too. Now, this one from Cambridge University Press is called Writing Extra. and it's full of exercises and complete lesson plans when you are teaching writing. So you need to get it, teachers. Why? Because, well, when you are teaching writing, remember that you can choose either the genre approach, the product approach, or the process approach. So here you have both. For some exercises, you will follow the product approach, and for some other exercises, you will follow the process approach. And it tells you the level of the students, the new words, and what is being reinforced, what skill is being reinforced. Either accuracy or organization of ideas or layout, everything is there. Okay, now if you need to know about the resources to find out how to use the material in your course book, okay, well, that's easy because you're going to have your textbook. Here I chose Interchange because it's a widely known book, a book that a lot of teachers throughout the years have used, okay? But it's got a lot of resources, One of them is called the Presentation Plus. So you can show your student the same things that you are showing in the book, but on the screen, okay? And they can do some exercises online. It's got links, it's got everything you need. And sometimes the workbook is digital too, okay? So that's working with the course book. And teachers, before we finish, I want to thank Slides Carnival because this presentation template was designed by them. Thank you very much. Well, teachers, that'll be all for today. If this video has been useful for you, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the little bell so you don't miss on anything. At TaniaTeacherTraining.com, we have a lot of useful information for you, okay? Don't forget, we release a new video every Friday, okay? Tell us about the videos that you want to see, the things that would be useful for you as teachers, okay? Don't forget to do that and subscribe. Have a great day, teachers.